Hello and welcome to the another tutorial of this Blockzie module. Here we are making the coding journey of yours easy and fun. Until now you have learned the different specifications of our Blockzie software, into which we have introduced you with the what is block coding and how one can use this block based coding to develop different games, also to create stories and make different animations. Now we have seen the technology's advancement, and now we have so many different kinds of gadgets and technology around us that we see interactive objects, or one thing you can connect with another thing, and using a particular source you can control different devices or the different equipments around us. So the world is becoming so tiny with these gadgets and the uh, interfacing of one particular module to another and controlling with the another objects. So in the Blockzies, this particular tutorial or session, we are going to add this technologies advancements using the different kinds of microcontrollers. So in this particular tutorial we are going to learn about how one can interface the Arduino board. So this Arduino particularly is added to the Blockzy and to help you with coding in Arduino and make different interactive objects or control anything around you. So this is dedicated to the introduction to Arduino and how one can interface the Arduino Uno board in Blockzy. Seeing the different advancements in technology, we have added this particular device connection in Blockzy to make different things very easy using block coding, because the text based coding for beginners is very difficult. So the block coding introduction is very easy and also quite enjoying and joyful, and also you can learn in interactive manner and without losing your temper at reducing the syntax errors and different long written paragraphs and particular things about different coding languages. So we have introduced this particular session and this particular part in our Blockzy software to make it easy and enjoyable. So this particular session is divided into six different parts. In the first part we will see what is Arduino. In the second part we will see what is Arduino Uno. After that we will see how one can program an Arduino, how to interface the Arduino Uno with Blockzy is the fourth part, and in the fifth and sixth part we are going to see the difference between the real time mode and the upload mode. So if you want to make any object interaction, or you make a project which is using this kind of microcontrollers and you are finding it difficult for text based coding, so yes, you are at the best and you can say approachable site right now, because you are going to learn about block coding and Arduino. So combining Arduino in this Blockzy software will enable you with the another level of experience and also easily and approachable method to code in Arduino or any Arduino board for that matter. So first of all, let us start our session with the introduction to Arduino. First, let us discuss some basics about Arduino. So Arduino is an open source hardware and software company. So first of all, this Arduino is divided into two different parts, and first is the hardware and the another one is software. Means it is the combination of hardware and software. This is a hardware and software open source company, project and user community that designs and manufactures single board microcontrollers and microcontroller kit for building digital device. So this Arduino board designs use a variety of microprocessors and microcontrollers. So this Arduino is, as we discussed earlier, is open source and used for building different electronic projects. Arduino consists of both a physical programmable circuit board, which is your hardware part, And a piece of software means using this software you can code your Arduino board. Or or IDE means it is used by computer to write code and upload your code through the computer to your physical hardware or your physical Arduino board. The Arduino platform has become quite popular with people just starting out with electronics, and for good reason. Unlike most previous programmable circuit boards, the Arduino does not need a separate piece of hardware in order to load new code. It has its software, and you can easily upload this coding to your Arduino board. So these are the different Arduino boards which are available in market. These are some of the examples only. There are so many different Arduino boards which are available in market, and one of them are Arduino Leonardo, Arduino Lilypad, Arduino Mega, Arduino Nano, Arduino Mini, and Arduino Uno. These are some of the examples. So the second part is, what is Arduino Uno? So what is Arduino Uno? We have seen that this Arduino has a different series or different boards, but specifically we are seeing the Arduino Uno. So this is how your Arduino Uno hardware looks like. It is a microcontroller based development board and is one of the best development boards to start with microcontrollers. So the Arduino hardware and software was designed for artists, designers, hobbyists, hackers, and newbies, and anyone interested in creating interactive objects or environments. So Arduino can interact with different buttons, LEDs, motors, speakers, GPS units, cameras, internet, and even your smartphones and TV. So this flexibility combined with the fact that Arduino software is free, the hardware boards are pretty cheap, and the both software and hardware are easy to learn has led to a large community of users who have contributed code and released instructions for huge variety of Arduino based projects. So this is the advantages of Arduino, and this particularly Arduino Uno or Arduino Uno is simple to use, and it has total 20 pins, from which 14 are digital input and output pins. Means from 20 different pins it has 14 digital input and output pins. 6 of them are PWM pins, means pulse with modulation pins, and 6 are analog input, only analog input pins. Also a reset button, a power jack, a USB connection, and many more. So uh, this is one of Arduino boards which is specifically a Arduino Uno. So this is the pin diagram of Arduino Uno, that these are the different components. First one is the barrel jack, which is for input. After that it has 3.3 volt pin, 5 volt pin, 2 ground pins, 1 voltage in pins. After that it has analog pins. Now the analog pins has letter A, and after that it has a digit, means A0 pin, A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5. So these are in total 6 analog input pins, means using these pins you can take inputs only. After that we have one power indicator LED. After that we have digital pins. In total it has 14, and it is numbered from 0 to 13. So these are the digital pins used as input and output pins. From them, 6 of them are PWM pins, numbering 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, and 11. Now these PWM pins are pulsed with modulation, and it has this kind of sine wave before the digit of that particular pin. means this is the indication of PWM pin. As you can see over here, that PWM with this particular sign. So these are the pins with PWM. After that we have one ground pin. This particular LED which is written L is connected to this pin number 13, so it is also known as pin 13 LED. After that, two LEDs are there. One is TX and another one is labeled as RX. One is transmit for trans as a transmitter and another one is receiver. And we have this reset switch, and after that we have this USB port. So these are the different initial pin diagram of Arduino Uno, specifically Arduino Uno board. Now let us see the Arduino Uno board's onboard component, means the components which are there onto the board and their function. So as we have discussed earlier, this particular Arduino Uno board has two options to power up your board. First one is through a USB cable and the another one is through a cable, or you can say a power jack. So this particular power jack is used to give Arduino board power directly from the AC mains power supply by connecting it to the barrel jack. Connecting from here you can give supply to your board. So this is a power jack. After that, if you want to power up your board through using your USB, and each and every board has their particular USB cables. So this is particularly USB A to B type cable USB port. So what you need to do is you need to connect Arduino board using your USB A to B type cable to your computer or laptop, to a device and through which you can power your Arduino Uno board. So Arduino board can also be powered by using the USB cable from your computer. All you need to do is to connect the USB cable to this USB connection and your board will be powered up. After that, we have this voltage regulator. So the function of this voltage regulator is to control the voltage given to this Arduino board and stabilize the DC voltages used by the processor and the other elements connected onto this pins. So to regulate the board's voltage, it has given a voltage regulator. After that is crystal oscillator. So this oscillator helps Arduino in dealing with time issues. So how does the Arduino calculate time even? So the answer is by using crystal oscillator. And this crystal oscillator works on 16 megahertz. After that, we have a reset button. This Arduino reset button is used to start program from beginning. Means if you want your programming to start from beginning, you just need to press the button or press this reset button and the programming will be start from beginning. Also we have a reset pin over here for the similar purpose, to reset your programming from starting. So you can use either this reset pin or you can press this button. Next is this different power pins. One is 3.3 volt, one is 5 volt and another one is VIN. So this 3.3 volt pin supplies 3.3 output voltage. This particular pin supplies 5 volt output voltage, and this particular pin which is VIN also can be used to power the Arduino board from external power source like AC mains power supply. After that we have two different ground pins. So this whole board has several ground pins. The two of them is here and one is here. So these ground pins are used to give ground connection to your circuit. So using this you can ground your circuit. After that we have analog pins naming from A0 to A5. So these are 6 different analog input pins. Means the Arduino Uno board has 6 analog input pins from A0 to A5. These pins can read the signal from analog sensor. Means if you have in your project any analog sensor and you need to read its value, then you can connect them onto these pins from A0 to A5 onto anyone, and it will give, or it can read the signal from analog sensor, like you can say humidity sensor or temperature sensor, and it converts into digital value. Means the whatever value it is reading, it will convert it into digital form that can be read by your microprocessor. After that, we have a microcontroller. So the microcontroller part is very essential, or you can say the heart or the brain of your Arduino Uno board or any Arduino board. So each Arduino board has its own microcontroller. You can assume it as the brain of your board. The main IC, or you can say integrated circuit, on Arduino board is slightly different from board to board. Means each and every board has a slightly different ICs. And the microcontrollers are usually of the Atmel company. Means it belongs from Atmel family. Now this different microprocessor, so in particular this is Atmega 328 microprocessor. So it is a single chip microcontroller of Atmel family. The processor code inside it is 8 bit, is of 8 bit. Means the processor code inside it is of 8 bit. It combines the memories such as SRAM, double EPROM and flash memory. It also has analog to digital converter, SPI serial ports, input output lines, different kinds of registers and timers, external and internal interrupts and oscillators. So this kind of variety of components are there in this microcontroller. After that, we have ICSP pin. This is an ICSP pin, means the in-circuit serial programming pin, which allows user to program using the firmware of the Arduino Uno board. Means these are the header pins of MOSI, MISO, SCK, reset, VCC and ground. It is often referred to as an SPI, means serial peripheral interface, which could be considered as an expansion of the output. After that, we have power LED indicator. Means your as you connect your Arduino board with power supply, the LED, particularly this LED, should be turned on or should light up in order to give indication as the Arduino board is started. If this LED is not starting, means there is something wrong with connection. So this is the indicator of your Arduino board starting up. After that, we have TX and RX LEDs. Means after this LED you have this TX and RX LEDs. So TX for transmitter and RX for receiver. Now on your board you will find these two labels, this particularly TX and this particularly RX. So TX transmitter, RX receiver, they appear in two places. Means it labels, this kind of labels are in two places. First one is here and the another one is here. The first at digital pin 0 and 1, 0 and 1 digital, these are the digital pins, and you can see this label TX and RX at digital pin 0 and digital pin 1, which are responsible for serial communication. Means this both are responsible for serial communication between board and the coding. The TX and the second is TX and RX label at this, you can say LED 13. So the TX LED flashes with different speed while sending the serial data. Means when sending the serial data, it flashes or it turns on with different kind of speed, and that speed of flashing depends on the baud rate used by the board. Means whichever baud rate is used by board, according to that the speed of flash will be changed. RX flashes during the receiving process, means it will be turned on during the receiving process. After that, we have this digital IO, means digital input and output pins. In total, they are 14 and 6 of them are PWM, pulse width modulation. These pins can be configured to work as input digital pins to read logical values. Now, this is labeled as digital and this is labeled as analog. Means these are the values which can vary from 0 to it's you can say 255 or any high. Means it can read between this 0 and 255, means analog values, and these are there to give digital values only, means only high or only low, not in between. High or low, there are only two chances in digital, which are either high or low, no in between. So these are responsible to work as input digital pins to read logical values 0 or 1, or as digital output pins to drive different modules, means to get input or to give input in the form of 0 and 1, or to get digital output pins to drive something digital devices connected onto it like LEDs, relays, or anything like that. After that, we will have another ground pin to ground your circuit. After that is AREF, which is analog reference, means it is used to set an external reference voltage between 0 and 5. So this was the general introduction to the onboard components of Arduino Uno board. These are the specifications of Arduino Uno board. It has microcontroller of 8 mega to 328. Clock speed is 16 megahertz. Operating voltage is 5 volt, and it can bear the maximum voltage of 20 volts, which is not recommended, but it can handle. Supply voltage should be recommended is 7 to 12 volts. Analog input pins are 6, digital input and output pins are 14. The DC current per input and output pin is 40 milliampere, and DC current in 3.3 volt pin particularly is 50 milliampere. The SRAM is 2 KB and its double EPROM is 1 KB, and the flash memory is of 32 KB. Now let us see the different applications where you can use this Arduino Uno board. Is specifically to design any system, general purpose applications in healthcare department, some department regarding to educational area, in mining section, in home automation, for smart agriculture purpose, and in defense sector. This kind of Arduino boards can be used. Hello and welcome to the another tutorial of this Blockzie module. Here we are making your coding journey easy and fun. Until the last tutorial, we have seen so many different things about block coding and different new codings and games, animations, different stories in Blockzie. I hope you have learned a lot until the 10th tutorial of our Blockzie module. Now we are moving forward in this Blockzie module particularly, and we are adding the another interesting part, which is Arduino. I know many of you have already heard this word of Arduino. So, we are living in a society where technology is everywhere, and we use different kinds of gadgets and microcontrollers and different things each and every day, and also in daily basis routines. And these microcontrollers are now everywhere, and they are part of our day to day lives. So in this particular tutorial, we are going to covering this Arduino module in our Blockzie. So this particular tutorial is dedicated to Arduino board interface with our Blockzie software. That how you can connect this Arduino board with Blockzie and start coding in the Arduino and make different kinds of project and automations. So this tutorial is about introduction to Arduino and how to interface Arduino in Blockzie. So the table of content for this tutorial is divided into six different parts. In the first part, we are going to see what is Arduino. In the second part, we are going to see specifically what is Arduino Uno. After that, we are going to see Arduino programming. In the fourth part, we are going to see how to interface the Arduino Uno with Blockzie. In the fifth part, we are going to see the real-time mode for this module. And in the sixth part, we are going to see the upload mode, because these are the two different modes which are available in Blockzie for Arduino. So we are going to see that two different modes in the later section. Now first let us start with the basic of Arduino. So first we will introduce you with Arduino. So the Arduino Uno, as you can see over here, the first of all, what is this Arduino? Arduino is an open source hardware and software company, project and a user community that designs and manufactures single board microcontrollers and microcontroller kit for building digital device. So this is a kind of microcontroller which is going to control the other devices connected onto it. So this is a controlling device, or in the other words you can say it as a as we humans have mind, this is another kind of mind which is controlling the devices connected to it. Arduino board designs use a variety of microprocessors and controllers. So the Arduino Uno is an open source microcontroller board which is based on microchip at Mega 328P microcontroller. So first of all, the Arduino, this is an open source hardware and software company which gives access to each and everyone. You can make your projects using these boards. It has different microprocessors and controllers. These are the different Arduino boards which are available in market. So we have different kinds of option to choose with. We have Arduino Leonardo, Arduino Lilypad, Arduino Mega, Arduino Nano, Arduino Mini and Arduino Uno. So these are some of the examples of different kinds of Arduino boards available in market. Now in the second part we are going to see typical Arduino Uno board. So what is this Arduino Uno board? So this is how your Arduino Uno board looks like. This is the hardware part of your Arduino Uno. It is a microcontroller based on development board and is one of the best development boards to start with microcontroller. Means when you are starting with microcontroller and you are starting in that particular era, so you can choose this microcontroller and you are ready to go. It is simple to use also. It has 14 digital input output pins, where 6 pins can be used as PWM, which is pulse width modulation output, 6 analog pin which are input pins, a reset button, a power jack and a USB connection and many more things. So the Arduino Uno is an open source microcontroller board based on the microchip which is Atmega 328P microcontroller and developed by Arduino.cc, and it was initially released in 2010. The microcontroller board is equipped with sets of digital and analog input output pins that may be interfaced to various expansion boards, or you can say shields and other circuits. So it initially has 14 digital input pins and 6 analog input pins. This is, you can say, see it as a pin diagram for Arduino Uno board. So this is how your Arduino Uno board looks like, and these are the different components onto it. First of all, these are the from 0 to 13. This is the image as your board looks like. So this is how your board looks like. Onto your board there are different numbers given onto it, different letters written over it, and different kinds of switches and different kinds of components are there. So from this particular 0 to 13, these are the 13 digital pins which are available on board. So from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 13, these are the digital pins. This GND particularly refers to ground, means when you need to connect your circuit or any other component to ground, you can just connect it from here. So this is GND, means ground pin. Also, we have two different GND pins over that particular side, which is one is this side and two are this side. So these are another two ground pins for circuits. After that, you have this voltage input pin, means from here you can give power. This is power input pin. These are also, this is 3.3 and this is 5 volt pin. Means from here you can take 5 volt as an output, means anything you are connecting onto your board and that component requires 5 volt, then you can take this 5 volt power output from here. After that, you have analog pins, and the analog pins are labeled as from A0 to A5. A suggests analog. In digital, there is no D, there is just 0 to 13 numbering. But for analog pins, you have A letter, a letter with the number also. So you have digits and numbers. So A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, and A5. These are the six analog pins, and these are the input pins only, means from here you can give input. After that, as you can see that over here you have L written onto it, and this particular is for LED pin, means this LED pins specifically gives you the connection, and if you have connected any LED onto this pin number 13, you can see it also here. After that, you have TX and RX. These are transmission and receiving, means if anything transmitted to Arduino board and if it is receiving, then these two pins or these two LEDs you can see as turning on. So these are the two different pins which are there to give you indication of transmission and receive. After that, this is power indicator pin, means as soon as you connect your board with the power supply, you can see that this particular LED will be turning on, which is giving you indication of your Arduino board is connected with power and the board is in running condition also, means if it is not starting, maybe there is some inner fault into it. And if you can see the LED in the on mode, you can check that yes, your Arduino Uno board is started. After that, you have this jack for input, means power input. For power input, you have this jack, and this is also a USB port through which you can connect your Arduino Uno board to computer or laptop, means a device, and from that device you can load any code to your board. As we already discussed that this Arduino Uno board is kind of microcontroller, or in other words, it is a microcontroller itself. Hence, it is a programmable device and you can program it as per your requirement or the requirement of project. So, whatever code you are doing, you can upload that code onto this Arduino Uno board using this port and a dedicated specific cable for Arduino Uno. So this is the pin diagram of this Arduino Uno board. Now let us see the different components on the board of Arduino Uno. So first one here is a USB, as you can see here. This is the power USB. So Arduino board or this particular Arduino Uno board can be powered by using the USB cable. Means from here you can connect a cable from your computer. All you need to do is connect the USB cable, means each and every board has different kinds of cable. The Arduino Uno board has its own different USB cable. So all you need to do is connect the USB cable to this USB connection and you are good to go. After that, we have this power jack or power button. So Arduino boards can be also powered by directly from AC mains power supply by connecting it to the barrel jack, means using an adapter. Also, it has its different adapter, and using that adapter you can also connect it through the AC mains power supply. After that, we have this voltage regulator. So the function of this voltage regulator is to connect the voltage given to the Arduino board and stabilize the DC voltages used by the processor and the other elements, means the other elements which you are going to connect on the board of Arduino Uno should be controlled. So this voltage regulator is there to control the voltage. This is the crystal oscillator. So the crystal oscillator helps Arduino in dealing with time issues. Means how Arduino calculate time. So the answer is by using the crystal oscillator. The number printed onto the top of Arduino is, you can see it as 16 point something. So it tells us that the frequency is 16 megahertz. After that, we have this reset button. As you can see here that on the Arduino Uno board, it has a small button of red color particularly. So this particular reset button is used to reset your Arduino board, means to start a program from the beginning. If you want to start your program from beginning, you can just click or press that button and you are ready to reset your programming. You can also reset the Arduino Uno board using this particular reset. As you can see over here, this particular reset button, so there are two ways. You can click onto this button, or you can use this particular pin to reset your Arduino Uno board. After that, we have different power pins and ground pins. So talking about this particular 3.3 volt pin, it supplies 3.3 output volt. After that, we have 5 volt pin. So this 5 volt pin supplies 5 volt of output as an output. Most of the components used with Arduino boards works fine with 3.3 volt and 5 volt. So all the components you're going to add onto your board works perfectly fine with 3.3 volts and 5 volts. So you just need to connect them over here and they would be supplied with 3.3 volt and 5 volt. After that, we have ground pin. We have several ground pins on Arduino board. So there are several ground pins, and any of which can be used to ground your circuit. So the main purpose of this ground pins is to give your circuit a ground connection. After that, we have VIN, which is V input. Means from here, this pin also can be used to power the Arduino board from an external power source, like from AC mains power supply. Means if you have any other source of power, you can connect that on this VIN pin. After that, we have analog pins. These are the different six analog pins numbering from A0 to A5. So the Arduino Uno board has 6 analog input pins. These analog pins are only input pins from A0 to A5. These pins can read the signal from an analog sensor like humidity sensor or temperature sensor and convert it into digital value that can be read by the microprocessor. So the function of this particular 6 pins is to get the value of analog sensor, convert it into digital, because your microprocessor can read the digital values. So these are the 6 different pins onto which you can connect your analog sensors such as humidity sensor or temperature sensor. After that, we have this main controller part. So each Arduino board has its own microcontroller. You can assume it as the brain of your board. Means this is the main component of your board, the one of the main component onto board, which is this microcontroller, and you can count it as the brain of your board. The main IC or integrated circuit on the board is slightly different from board to board, means which kind of board you have selected. The Uno board has different microcontroller and the other Arduino board has different microcontroller. You must know what IC your board has before loading up new program. After that, we have ICSP pins. These are the ICSP pins, or you can say headers. Mostly, ICSP is an AVR, a tiny programming header for Arduino consisting of MOSI, MISO, SCK, reset, VCC, and GND. Means these are the six different headers: master out, slave in, master in, slave out, serial clock, reset, VCC, and ground. These are the pins. It is often referred to as an SPI, means serial peripheral interface, which could be considered as an expansion of the output. After that, we have power LED indicator. This LED should light up when you plug your Arduino into a power source to indicate that your board is powered up correctly. If this light does not turn on, then there is something wrong with the connection. Means as soon as the LED is starting, your board is in good condition, and if it is not starting, means there is any issue or there is something wrong with the cable or connection. After that, we have this TX and RX LEDs. So these are small LEDs and they are labeled as TX and this is labeled as RX. So on your board you will find these two labels exactly here. TX means transmit and RX means receive. They appear in two places on the Arduino Uno board. Means first one is over here and the second is over here. As you can see on digital 1 and digital 0 pin, also you have this TX and RX label. First at digital pin 0 here and the second one at digital pin 1 to indicate the pins responsible for serial communication. Means these are the pins which are responsible for serial communication. And this second one is RX TX LED. The TX LED flashes with different speed while sending the serial data. Means this TX is transmit part, means when we are sending the data it will flash at different speed. The speed of this flashing depends on the baud rate used by board. Means at which baud rate your board is connect is onto it, according to that your flashing timing or the LED's flashing timing will change. RX flashes during the receiving process. You are if you are sending data, then TX will be turned on, and while it is receiving something, then the RX will be flashed. After that, we have this digital input pins part. The Arduino Uno boards has 14 digital input output pins numbering from 0 to 13. Also, we have some PWM pins as we discussed earlier, that which are the specifically PWM pins that you can signify from here also, that PWM, this is pulse width modulation, and these are the pins with this kind of symbol. Means these are the pins which has this symbol. So the pin number 3, 5, 6, 9 and 10 are the pins with PWM, means pulse width modulation process. Also this one. So this 3, 5, 6 and 9, 10 and 11 are PWM pins. And these whole digital pins, means from 0 to 13, onto this particular 13 pins you can connect different modules like LEDs, relays, etc. Means you can pins can be configured to work as input digital pins to read logic values, means 0 and 1, or as digital output pins to drive different modules like LEDs, relays, etc. After that, we have this is the ground pin to give your ground connection, and after that we have AREF. AREF stands for analog reference. REF means reference and A for analog, used to set an external reference voltage which is between 0 to 5 volts as the upper limit for the analog inputs. So these are the different components which you can see on your Arduino Uno board. And this is the particular specifications of Arduino Uno board. So the microcontroller which is Atmega 328. Its clock speed is 16 megahertz. Its operating voltage is 5 volt and the maximum supply voltage it can bear with is 20 volt, which is not recommended also, but it can survive up to 20 volts. Supply voltage which is recommended for this Arduino Uno board is from 7 volts to 12 volts. Up to 12 volts it works fine, perfectly fine. It has 6 analog pins, 14 digital input and output pins. These digital pins are used as input and also output pins. It can bear DC current of input output pins of 40 milliampere and DC current in 3.3 voltage pin of 50 milliamperes. Its SRAM is 2 KB and EEPROM is 1 KB and its flash memory is 32 KB. These are the different applications of Arduino Uno board. Means the Arduino application domains are this, means you can use them in system design, general purpose application, also in healthcare field, also in educational fields, in mining field, for home automation, smart agriculture, and in defense sector. This kind of Arduino boards are used. So these Arduino boards are programmable device. Means Arduino is divided into two different parts. First is hardware part and another one is software part. In software part you are dealing with the programming section. So this Arduino is a programmable device, hence you need to code it before you are starting anything. Means the components you have added onto board is going to have some kind of code in order to make that particular thing automatic. So after seeing the basics of Arduino Uno board, its onboard component and the different pins of this Arduino Uno board, we are going to see its programming part. And for that programming part, we are going to use a software Blockzie. So in Blockzie, you can add this Arduino Uno board and start programming. This software helps to write the programming code and to upload the code onto the Arduino Uno board or any other board for that matter. After uploading is done, the message shows upload success. So as soon as you completed your programming part and upload it to the Arduino Uno board, you will have a message something like upload successfully. So let us see that how you can connect this Arduino Uno board with Blockzie. So this is the interface part. These are the steps to interface the Arduino Uno board with Blockzie. So Blockzie helps to program your Arduino Uno board. Hence, you need to first connect this Arduino Uno board to the device through which you are going to make coding. You can use your computer or laptop. So first of all, you need to connect your Arduino Uno board to computer or device, which device you are going to use. After that, open the Blockzie software, go to toolbar. Means as soon as you click on Blockzie and you will see a screen or you can say home page. Onto that you will see something like this. So go to toolbar and click on this no device selected. So as soon as you click on Blockzie, you will have its interface, and on interface you will see this particular icon and click on this. After that you will see a screen something like this. It will give you some detailed components which Blockzie has. So you need to do is click on this Arduino Uno. Means from this particular options you are going to choose your component. Means you have connected Arduino Uno board to your laptop or computer, so select here Arduino Uno. After that, choose Arduino Uno, and as soon as you click on to Arduino Uno, you will see that on which port you have connected your Arduino Uno board will be displayed over here, and you need to click on connect. Means you have to connect this particular device. The device name and onto which port it is connected will be displayed over here, and after that you just need to click on connect because you need to connect this particular device. After clicking onto this connect button, you will see something like this, and it is saying that your Arduino Uno board is connected over here. So as soon as you have this screen, just click on to go to editor, and your Arduino Uno board is successfully connected to the Blockzie software. And now we are moving forward with programming part. So as soon as you complete the interfacing of Arduino Uno module to your laptop or computer, there are two different parts in Arduino part, which is first is real time mode and the another one is upload mode. So let us first see that what is the difference between real time mode and upload mode. So first we will start with real time mode. As soon as you click on this Arduino Uno, you will have a display, and onto that display you will have a section to choose from real time or upload time. So for now we are discussing what is real time. So the real time mode is mode of working in Blockzy in which we can interact with components like the sensors or actuators or prototyping boards such as Arduino and ESP32 in real time. If you disconnect the board with Blockzy, you cannot interact with the board anymore. Means it will enable your interfacing and connect and contacting mode only and only when you have connected your device with the Blockzy. If you unconnect them, you will not be able to communicate with your board and the sensor and actuator connected onto it. In this mode, you can make games and animations interacting with Arduino or any other prototyping board. Also, in this mode, you can control Arduino Uno pins by assigning sprite movements such as when space key pressed or off keyboard, or and then LED gets turned on or etc. Something like this. So how one can programming in real time mode? So this is the screen. First, you will have no device selected when you are not connected your Arduino Uno board. But as soon as you connect your Arduino Uno board with your device, then it will appear as Arduino Uno. Means whichever board you have connected will be displayed over here. The name of that device will be written after this particular icon. And you need to just scroll it from here to here. Now it is in real time mode. So connect Arduino Uno to computer or laptop via USB type cable. As we discussed earlier, that Arduino Uno board has two different power inputs, or you can say through two methods you can your connect and turn on your Arduino Uno board. First is using USB port and the second one is barrel jack. So now you want to coding part, so you need to connect your Arduino Uno board using a USB A to B type cable through USB port, because you need to first code it, and if you want your coding uploaded into onto your board, you need that particular cable to upload your code onto the board. Once you plug in your Arduino board, a LED, or you can say a power indicating LED, will start blinking, which indicates that your Arduino Uno board is connected to PC or your device. Now open Blockzie software. This is the interfacing process which we have just discussed. Select or click on to node device selected. After that, click on Arduino Uno from several options. After that, connect and go to editor, and you will have a screen something like this. And onto that screen you will have this another added block programming palettes block, which is pins. Means here you will have different Arduino pins using which you can program your device. So this is one example of Arduino's pins using which you can make the different LEDs or any components you have connected onto your board communicate. So this particular coding is for to blink your onboard LED. Onboard LED means you have two different LEDs. One is power indicating LEDs and LED, and another one is LED on TX and RX upper side. So that particular LED you can make it turn on and off using this coding. So this is the code which will enable that particular onboard LED turn on and off. So we are using this event block means when flag is clicked, what you want is you want your pin number 13 because that is 13th number LED, means that particular LED is connected with pin number 13. Hence we want that particular pin as output mode. After that, what we need to do is we need to blink our LED, means for several seconds it should turn on, and after some time it should turn off. So what you need to do is you need to add a block named set digital pin 13, because onto that 13 pin it has connected a LED. So for sometimes this digital pin number 13 should be high. High means it has given value 1. High means 1 and low means 0. So it will have its output as high, means your LED will be turned on for how many seconds you are giving this wait block, means for that particular seconds this action will be on loop. So this for 1 second this LED will be turned on. After 1 second, what LED will do is it will be turned off because you have given a code of set digital pin 13 to low, means its output should be in low form. Low means 0 and 0 means LEDs on position. So for 1 second your LED will be turned off, and this particular phenomena will go on loop or will go again and again, means first 1 second it will be turned on, and for once another 1 second it will be turned off. After that 1 second it will again turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. So this will be as a blinking method. So this particular real time mode you can use this time. After that we have upload mode. After seeing the real time mode, we will see what is upload mode. So upload mode is one of the two modes you can write your programs in Blockzie. Means you can write your program in both the modes. But in real time mode, you can interact with the boards and onboard component as soon as you have connected your Arduino Uno board to the computer using cable. As soon as you disconnect your board, you will not be able to communicate with board, means anything you do in this particular Blockzie will not affect the components or the board, Arduino Uno board specifically. But in upload mode, what you have made code can be used after disconnecting. So this mode allows you to write scripts and upload it to the board. Means upload mode, in upload mode you are going to upload that particular coding or program onto the Arduino Uno board. So this mode allows you to write scripts and upload it to the board so that you can use it even when it is not connected to your computer. Means as soon as you disconnect your Arduino Uno board with computer, your Arduino Uno board's uploaded code will remembered by the board, and it will behave, or it will continuously running, and you can see that on your board. For example, you need to upload a script for making moving robots. Means if you want to make any movement in robot or anything, you will have to use this upload mode, and using upload mode you can upload that particular coding. Once uploaded, the board runs independently according to the script. Means whatever actions or whatever commands you have given to different components on the board or to the Arduino Uno board, it will run on and on, and it will this action would be independent, means if it is connected to your device or whether it is not connected, it will be on repeat. We can display data on serial monitor using this mode. Means whatever the data you have, you can see on serial monitor in upload mode only. In this mode, only one event block is present. Means when you are using upload mode, there would be only one event block. So how you can change from real time mode to upload mode? So you just need to drag this white button kind of switch from this. So you just need to switch it over from this part to this part. As soon as you press this here, you will see it as something like this. So at this, it is upload mode. So change mode from here, something like this. As soon as you click on this upload mode, you will have a button something like this to upload your code. Means to upload your program to the board. Also, it has a feature which kind of blocks you are dragging onto script area will be converted to C or C++ code. Means you have both the codes in block coding form and also in text based coding. These are the different blocks, and this is the only event block when you switch over to upload mode, which says when Arduino begins. Means when Arduino begins, what should it do? It should do the different things which are connected, or the blocks connected below this when Arduino begins. And as soon as you click on this upload and the upload section is done, you will have this as a serial monitor. So this is the serial monitor. This is one example in upload mode. So this is the upload mode, and we have performed the previous similar previous coding in upload mode. So in upload mode, what changes it is that in event blocks or in event category, you will have the one and only one block saying when Arduino begins. So now you will have to drag and drop this particular block and start your coding. So first is this block. After that, all the coding is same. First block, it has assigned its mode. Means in which kind of mode that particular pin 13 should behave. So it should behave as output pin. After that, we have assigned it how it should operate. Means in higher mode or in lower mode. In higher it will be turned on, or in lower mode it will be in off mode. So the digital pin 13 will be turned on for 1 second. After 1 second, it will be turned off, and this particular phenomena will repeat for forever because we have used forever block. So you can see that, and also we have this text based coding. So whatever you have added in block coding, you can see its text based coding version into this particular section, and also the serial monitor screen. So it was all about Arduino and how to interface the Arduino Uno board to the Blockzie and make different kinds of programming. And one can use the Blockzie software to program the Arduino Uno board and make different kinds of project and automations. So thank you so much. We will see you in the next tutorial.